know what's going on inside a person's head. I guess that's why they call it psychology, sir.
Like, please. On that topic of baby. Next week, she'll find out.
What, like that charger one I did the other day? I had the video off and they had you all muted. Sure, with like people that weren't in it. Girls, you guys want to eat?
Let's have fun with it, because I want you to be in a good mood when I tell you what I want. That time I get a new car. You're not getting a new car. You're going to get a drive. You're not getting a drive.
microphone's muted. You're in as Gary.
I don't want to be Gary.
Let me make sure I'm not hooked up to.
Do I have to join Zoom?
No. Again, I just get that's a meeting for you.
Hey, I just asked why I couldn't hook it up to my phone. This is the- There's nothing in there. I didn't. Well, be nice to me.
Just get that's a meeting for you.
I just asked why I couldn't hook it up to my phone. This is the- Gee. There's nothing in there. I didn't. What you said, you can hear anything. You can hear everything that
You can you can hear them, but they can't hear you.
on there. I could hear
Oh
liar.
no, it says muted.
Hey, Danny, where's your volume?
You're not muted.
All the way down the bottom right. You got your minimize it.
Just a minute, I need to mute. I've never done this before. I'm as confused as the next one over. Okay, what we got? Oh.
Hello, everyone. I'm hoping you can hear me okay. I'm going to wait a few more minutes to give everybody a chance to log on. I know this is the first time I've ever I've done this with classes and things, but to stream it also at the same time for parents who have a hard time with Zoom. I hope not to take a lot of your time. And feel free at any time to unmute and ask a question and in that matter too, but we'll try to get started here real soon. I mean, we obviously don't have a lot of parents online, but at the same time, I want to give everybody an opportunity. So again, hold on about 3 minutes. We'll get rolling.
I don't know how to put my thing on there. You got me.
All right, everyone. Again, good evening, and I know everyone isn't online tonight, but I thought is we haven't had any kind of meetings or had any opportunities to have any meetings, and I know with a lot of questions out there, I thought it'd be great to have a meeting tonight, just as we start our practices on Monday. Again, I feel free to unmute yourself at any time if you have a question. Try to go through just a handful of things. I don't want to spend a lot of your time. But trying to get things ready for Monday, August 3rd, as we get to start the school year. And I again appreciate you that could make it. And I do have, looking online on YouTube, we do have several other parents watching too. So if you're having a problem hearing me or something, please just, Candy, I see you there. I can see you. If you can wave and say, no, we can't hear you. But,
Nope, I can hear you.
that'd be great to let me know. Technology is great, I guess, especially in times like these times, but it can also be as bad as it is good at times. What I want to do is first, again, just 220. Obviously, it's been a different year for us. And with this season quickly approaching us, with all the unknowns, I just want to, our theme for the whole off season has been the 2020 vision. We didn't know when we talked about that in January that vision would be like it has been through this point here on July 30th. But I guess at the same time, our 2020 vision, we just got it as clear as we can for the next few days. I mean, it's a daily change, and we all are aware of that, obviously, because our lives change every day with this current. I like to refer to it as a situation. I'm not personally a person I like to call it new norm. I just like to call it our current situation, and we move forward. I do apologize up front with this, the current situation. Schedules were normally out a lot sooner. Schedules happen a lot easier. But a lot of times I had myself holding back thinking, okay, I don't want to put this out there, and then something changes. But then it became to a point where we have to put it out there. And of course, it's still going to change because of things. Even I know some people heard just this week with the scrimmages being suspended indefinitely at this point, not meaning we're not going to have any scrimmages. I will tell you as a coach, we knew that a while back that was a pretty strong possibility. But like everything else, they wait till the last minute to tell us. And just to share a common thing, what I've told a lot of our players at this point is I know there's a lot of doubt with some of the kids and a lot of doubt with people around that even if this 2020 season will happen, only thing we control is prepare ourselves as if it is going to happen. And that's, and that's what I keep putting them through their brains that, hey, this is going to happen. And I do feel that it potentially is going to happen. Do I feel it could take a pivot move on us and we'll do it maybe 2 weeks later? Can it pivot until suddenly they're going to tell us we're going to play in February, March, and April? I think everything's on the table. I feel more confident that this season will happen than I do. That I feel more confident that it will happen. I feel that it will happen. We just don't know exactly when. So we continue as if. We're going to start with the TY Tigers on August 28th, and we prepare that way. But again, everything changes, and it could change for the very good, but it could also change for, okay, we're going to wait until October. Okay, we're going to wait to April, as I said. But we can't control those things. So our guys are working hard. I've been very impressed with your young men on how they've been working as this process has been going on, because I know how it affects me, but I also know they're hiding it. I know the stress is there, and their mental health at that time is going through a beating. So we've been harping on, hey, let's keep going forward, and heads down, eyes up, go forward, and let's get ourselves better and control what we can control. Because if anything in our life has shown us that you can't control something, it's obviously this current situation we're in. We have no control. So hopefully you can reiterate that with them. Try to keep them as positive as you can, and take away that doubt, because they're doing great things. The things they've been doing and how they've been working, it's, considering all the hurdles, it's probably one of the best off seasons I've been able to have with a team in the whole 26 years of coaching. So impressive on how our guys, our young people have adapted to our current world situation. So without further ado on that, again, we can talk some more on that. I want to go through some changes already. And honestly, they could change, but I guess if I can get this slideshow to move in this. At least our first two scrimmages have been canceled. And they have not. This will be the first time I've shown anybody this schedule. Obviously, because I wanted to wait till tonight anyways, but we found out just a couple days ago that they would indefinitely suspend scrimmages. Now, we were told in the beginning to prepare yourself that you're going to lose most of your scrimmages. They may save you one. So I left the Shelby scrimmage on there for August 21st. That all being said, we could still end up showing up and having a scrimmage on the 15th. So I have our schedule changed, but a reminder, this is fluid. It's going to change daily. And hopefully we can maintain this segment. Honestly, we're just going to go by it right now, and we'll try to keep you as parents updated. I have learned through the years that boys are really very bad at communicating schedules and things like that. So I will do my best to continue that, and to continue at least social media. I do not use, at this point, have never used Remind. I've always been just a paper person. And then, as I don't know if I say the word mature, but I've used the words, if I've been more experienced, I didn't realize how much those paper versions didn't get home too. So I will relay it out on social media. I will send it out as much as I can. We talked about, as a coaching staff, getting Remind, but we have so many different avenues right now that we're using. We don't want to add too many more things on there. As you see, I took out the scrimmage on the 11th, and I took out the scrimmage on the 15th. I will say that practice on the 15th may still be something we're going to reevaluate as we get closer. The one exciting thing there is our plan is on August 10th, and I hope some of you see, is to practice at Whitney Field. And it should be at that point, the field will be finished on, the field will be finished this Sunday. And then they're going to put the track in on the 3rd. And they said it should be open to be used on August 10th. Now, if something happens on August 10th, we can't practice there. We may move that to, I just want to get the guys something to be excited about. So we may move that to August 11th. So right now, as of July 30th at 6:10 p.m., this is our schedule. You know, we could get called and say, hey, you know, you just never know. So I know everybody's used to that now in this part of what we've been going through. Next thing, and this is, I know this is probably be hard to read. I want to go back a couple slides. Yeah, this is our Norwalk High School COVID precautions and plan, and it's also fluid. And you will be getting a copy of this paper coming home with the boys. But I will, in short, and kind of sum up of what we're doing and how the health department has guided us to do. I'm going to say this first, and I'll repeat it again. If the boys are feeling ill and they wake up feeling ill, I would prefer they don't come to practice that day. Now, of course, that sets us up because some days are going to be rough to go just because, and you're going to be feeling ill because of the idea of, oh, I don't want to go back to practice today. But as a parent, I'm asking you, if they're feeling ill, please keep them home. In our current time and its current situation, it's better safe than sorry. And then at the same time, communicate with me what we can or cannot do. And we can go from there. Going through this, and I just received this last night at a meeting, and I can tell you with even conversations with the health department I've had in the last week with different situations, they told me one thing on a Monday and told me something different on a Wednesday. So at the same time, that's why Norwalk, this is something all our students are going to get. That's why Norwalk City District put that at the bottom. We have the right to add, remove, or modify protocols as necessary. And that necessary is how we are recommended by our health department. So ultimately, you know, for us, if somebody is sick, they do not necessarily have to go to the doctor. But we do want, if there's a fever involved, instead of the old 24-hour rule, we're looking at the 72-hour rule. And if they're untested for the COVID and things like that, we're going to need a 72-hour rule. Now, some of these things have even changed today as I'm breezing through it real quick. I will let you as a parent look at those things. I'm just going to put out a summary of if they're ill, stay home. And I mean, we're going to have to count on our parents to, if you feel it's to that point where they need to go get tested with these things, these fevers, and these things last longer than your child is. I mean, we just need open line of communication, and we'll go from that point, and we'll follow this form as much as we can. Again, I just wanted you to be aware of this paper coming home. I mean, I'm sure some of the things you read on here is probably the first time you've seen it, as much as it's the first time I've seen it on yesterday, because I've heard of different. I mean, I know another school that had a whole different set of guidelines when they had a situation last week. So far, we have been blessed within no positive tests within our program after 3 months of working out, or 2 months of working out, and we hope we can continue on. But inevitably, I believe, and we hope everybody's healthy, that we will have to use this form some way, somehow. And our guys are doing an awesome job. We try to limit our time together, or our space, getting close to each other, which I know it's odd to say in football, but they have came out with the description of 15 minutes of sustained contact within 6 feet is something that we're trying to go away from, which is fine, because in the way we practice to do things, it's very rare that we're all in one same spot for 15 minutes. So with the same people, we're hoping through those safety measures and things, we can keep our guys safe, and we can keep our program moving along. So with that, I want to go with our daily check-in, and so you know how that process will work for us. The boys will be receiving, whether through the Band app or our Google Classroom, and it's going to be a process. We've been using this document all summer It's a document that they check in, and it's the standard questions that if you go anywhere now, you have to go through, whether you whether you've have a cough, have shortness of breath, yada, yada, you know, that whole thing. On that Google sheet, it also says whether they have a fever. And as a parent, you do not have to check. If you would like to check before they got there, that's outstanding. But I would like for the guys to do this Google Doc, and they're going to be told this before they get there. It just helps us with the management when they come in. It submits it to my Google Drive, and that way, if there ever is a situation, I have check-in, I have what they were, and it's actually been a real save for us in the last couple of weeks when if we have any kind of concerns or the health department calls, it's an easy save, timestamp and everything. So every day we're asking them to do that check-in form. Again, that's something I'll reiterate with them as we start to go through this on a daily process. I already asked if we could stay home, but please just notify me. Hopefully most of you have my cell phone number. Notify me, and I'm totally going to respect the parents on how we're doing with that, and we'll go from that point. When they do come to school, though, each sport coach has been provided by Norwalk High School and Fisher Titus Hospital a temperature to be able to check the temperature of everybody walking in the entrance. So we will be checking and making sure we are mandated if someone walks in the door with a temperature, they're to walk back out the door. We have to isolate them, and they will have to return home for the day. And then we'll start with that 72 hours of no symptoms, things like that. And of course, that could be anything from just a common cold or common illness to where we're at in our situation now. Number 4, something that's brand new to our guys that was just handed down to us yesterday, is in the buildings, they are going to have to wear a mask. Not while they're working out, not in the rig, but they will need to wear a mask inside the locker room. And that's part 2 with the locker room. We're going to make sure they're spaced out. It's going to be a limited time in the locker room. The locker rooms, and they gave us an additional locker room this year to make sure that we can keep them spaced out during that time frame. And we will do our best. At that same time, and now we're dealing with boys, and we're dealing with probably the worst level of boys, 14 through 18. We're going to have to work really hard on keeping those locker rooms clean. Please, they will have, they already received a blue shirt, and when they walk in the locker room on Monday, there'll be a new gray shirt. They'll also have 2 jerseys that we'll wear at each session. We will be, it says this on number 9, they will be spraying down the locker room after every practice. But a common practice that's not always been common practice is they need to take those dirty clothes home as often as they can. You know, I remember the day, and I've coached enough in the days, or I even as the player, is the kids that used to brag on how long they can go without washing their practice jerseys or practice pants. In today's time frame, we can't do that. So I'm going to ask them, I'm going to continue with them to please take their things home every night, or I'm not going to say every night. The undercloth shirts, I prefer that they take them home, and most of them do every night. Clothes leave in their locker room, we prefer that doesn't happen. They need to take that home every night. I would say they should shower and take their towels home, but most of our boys don't shower, or none of our boys usually shower at the locker room. So we just need to take their dirty clothes home at night. The water, I know I put a thing out earlier about water jugs, and I do appreciate some of them I've received. And I'm probably sure we're going to be receiving, but I'm going to actually be passing those down to the middle school. And I'm going to switch off a share for a second. Our Mother's Club, with our Mother's Club money and some of our fundraisers we've done, we're going to provide each team member with this water jug. It's a half-gallon water jug. So when they come in on Monday, each team member will have this gray igloo. Each of them will have their number on it, and that is their water jug. And that water jug, I gotta go back to this thing now, but that water jug will be theirs to use every day. And we're gonna actually keep the water jugs in the school. So they'll take them out on the field. They're gonna have to fill them while we're there, which we do have locations to fill with ice, and they're gonna take them with them. They're gonna take them to all their drill stations every day as we get the routine. You'll be seeing them on the sidelines at games after they get, once we get to the games, because of course we can't use water bottles anymore.
Mhm.
And again, it's just kind of that process that we have to do. And yeah, I stole this idea from another school, and it's something that I'm blessed that, you know, we have the funds to buy them, and each kid will have their own. They're going to stay at the school. That way, you know, Ryan, my son, comes in on Monday, takes it home, and knowing him, he'll forget it at home. It's at the school. And then I've actually talked about ways to sanitize them. But since it's one person holding it, one person using it, we should be in pretty good shape there. So that's something I feel that has solved a real problem we've had in terms of worried about having enough water and how the kids can have their water. And they'll be able to carry them easy and take care of them that way. But they're not to be sharing, and I'll repeat that with them. They can't share each other's water bottle. Again, our guys have done an amazing job of that. We'll have plenty of hand washing. Here's the number 6, plenty of hand washing going on. We'll have sanitation stations, or we'll have places to wash their hands at all times. We have to sanitize the equipment, the footballs, as often as we can too. So that will happen at practice, post-practice by coaches and some of our football ops and personnel.
Thing on Monday?
As I said already, if they could bring home their practice cloth as much as possible, that'd be great. I want to reiterate the time. The time on our calendars is when we are for sure they should be done and off the field and be able to go home. For those that need a ride home, we're trying to prevent as much time in the locker rooms as possible, or in the hallways, or things like that. You know, those are the times. So at 1:30 they are done, and Brendan and Dylan are done. I'm sure they got 8,000 other things to do with that day, but for football, they're done. So if it's possible, as close to 1:30 would be outstanding, just to eliminate as much loitering in the hallways, not because I don't want the boys to have fun or goof around, but because of sanitary and reasons, the optics, to be honest, of what things are done. Plus, as coaches, we have to go through, sanitize the equipment, sanitize the locker room after every practice too. So that is our daily routine. I should have asked questions early. Is there any questions about these things, or things that you think we should do more, or that we can take for at least think about? Okay, great. Going in. All right.
Hey, Todd.
All right, I'm gonna go back, make sure. I'm not sure I'll do that quite yet. Yeah.
Hey, Todd,
So
this
our
is
in-season
Shannon.
plan for any freshmen, incoming freshmen, and just a reminder for this year for us. So you know what cloth 2 is coming home. Mondays we practice. We're done a little early, but we call our practice 100 minutes, 100% effort. We go on the field at 4. So many times we will lift, have to have meetings outside, I think. I'm not sure how we can, or have film meetings or things like that up until 4. Plus there's sometimes, although the school told us last night, they're probably not going to start to study tables till October. We do some studying and making sure kids have a little extra time there if they can. So we're on the field at 4 o'clock. And like I said, after 4 o'clock, it's 100 minutes. And we walk off the field, scheduled walk off the field. Some kids choose to do a little extra on their own, but at 5:40. So it's 100 minutes, 100% effort. And that's what we try to do. Mondays are a little bit shorter, but not early in the season. Towards the end of the season, they're done a little bit sooner. But Tuesdays and Wednesdays are pretty consistent. And then Thursday, we're probably done at 4:30 at Whitney. So going through that again, we're just wearing our practice jerseys on Monday, and helmets, obviously. Tuesday, we're in full gear. Wednesday, we're in shoulder pads and jerseys only. And then Thursday, I'm sorry, that was Wednesday. Thursday, we're in our blue jerseys, but we're at Whitney Field. Those practices on Thursday conclude around 4:30. In the past, we've had feed the team, but not of course, but I don't know if you're aware, but things due to our current situation, we've been notified that things like team meals, team bonding are no longer approved by our health department. So we're going to have to adapt and find a way to continue to develop that family bond within our team, within our families. Like I said, that's just a process that as a coach and everybody else, we got to work on. And we will miss that because our parents have been outstanding on that. And it's just that, it's our time. It's our time. I don't want to bank on that. Some things I'm not sure that you are aware of. So full truth, this is as of July 30th. They do need to bring masks at all times to locker rooms, and they do need to wear a mask on the bus ride. They do need to have fresh clothes for post game, and that goes for everybody, including a player that maybe didn't play at a game on a Friday night game, some of our developmental squad, which is our freshmen. Why? It's just because that's what we've been told. So they would put those clothes in a bag that they wore, and they should have a fresh clothes for the post ride home. At one point, just last week, we had to have 4 sets of shirts and clothes because that's what they want us to do. Now we're at least down just to 1 set. So that's a change. As of July 30th, game days and things like that. Each player's family, I should have put, has an option to buy 3 tickets. As you can see, our home games capacity is going to be 700, and that's going to be throughout the SBC.
Wow.
Again, I want to reiterate, this is July 30th. At least it's not 0, but it's still only 700. And at 700, that means our family, each player has that option to buy 3 tickets. I can't tell you the process of what's going to happen there. I just know that's what I was just told. And it's going to be, our conference is going to be, it's going to be commonplace. That's what they're going to do. At our home games, due to Huron County, our 25% capacity rule, our away teams coming in, all of our away teams, I guess, they're going to have 250 tickets. And when we travel, we were going to have 250 tickets. We haven't hashed that out because if you just do the math with 250 tickets, right now our roster has 87 players on it. I don't know if that quite gives us enough for everybody on the team to have 3 tickets, because our cheerleaders will still be going to our away games. Our band will not be going to away games, so just be our cheerleaders. Home games, I do believe there's going to an abridged version of the van, and I think they have an access to tickets too. But again, this is as of July 30th. This is what I am being told. And this is an SBC decision. And we do deal with a couple different counties, Seneca County, Erie County, and Huron County, all 3. I believe that is it. But that's kind of what they've come down to. And it's the best. I mean, right now it's the best we can do. Hopefully, hopefully we think positive, it all changes. We got that very great new stadium down there, and it's going to be very empty. But at least we're playing football.
May I ask a
All right,
question?
any questions on that? I'm not sure I can answer, so I would say forward that to Josh or our administration. Again, and God bless them. They have been actually very proactive than some of the coaches I've been able to talk to and what they've been going through. We're very safe, very protective of our program, but of our school and our students and our safety of our students. But we've been using a lot of, I would say, common sense of being protective and making sure most of the kids can have a normal-ish procedure as we can. All right.
Can I ask one question?
Okay. Now the next part of my agenda was our player handbook. A little something new I'd already crafted for this off season. And but real quick to I did just got a message. Somebody has a question. Go ahead and unmute. Do you need me to unmute you? Shanna? Heather? Go ahead, anybody?
Can you hear me? Hello?
I can hear you.
Did my sound not working?
I don't know if you can hear me. Sorry, I just had a question about the game.
Huh?
Oh, my goodness. I want to apologize. Go. Yes, I can now.
Okay, my only question is, so that 700 tickets or
Yeah.
capacity, that is good for all the kids though? I mean, that's, you guys have already looked it through all that? To make sure each player has 3 tickets?
Okay.
Am I cutting out again?
You. Yes, yes. For the 700, that is going to be that.
Okay,
You know
that's,
what? Let me see something here. Okay, 1 second. Okay, I apologize. What that Zoom thing I did was doing, had everything go, or not Zoom, but when I was doing that on, gosh, sorry, y'all. Okay, can everybody hear me now?
yeah.
Okay, so Heather, yes, you asked if there's 7, yes, they have, far as I've been told, each kid's getting 3 tickets to sell. I mean, they're not gonna be giveaway, but
Yeah.
they're gonna allot each parent. I don't know how they're going to do it yet, but that is the plan.
Okay, I was just checking. I didn't know, wanted to clarify it.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Yes, Shannon, did you have a question?
I did. I had a question. It was about the water bottles. If they're not bringing them home, who's going to be responsible for washing those?
We are working with our, to use the dishwashing machine or whatever they have in the cafeteria. I'm not going to say they're not going to bring them home, but I think we're going to make it a certain day. They have to bring them home. I don't have the answer yet from whether we can use the kitchen dishwashing.
Okay, I just want to tell you, be careful with the numbers because that might come off in that heat.
Okay, all right, noted. And by the way, I want to thank Shannon for making those. And when Day's noticed, and she's not busy at all, anything with her graduation party coming up. So thank you, Shannon, for that.
No problem.
All right.
Hey, Coach,
Yes.
quick question. If we go back to the practices, when they have two-a-days, they would have a break between practices, correct?
Correct.
That would have been at least years, whatever, 100 years ago when I played, we did that in the locker room. If you're going to limit the locker room use, where are they taking their breaks at?
Well, hopefully for great weather, we will be able to do it outside. It's about an hour break. They should bring a snack of some sort, but we take an hour break. So there's enough space in the outdoors where they've kind of done a very good job on their own to find a spot. If it's not great weather, our plan is to do it inside the Reagan Center, and they can spread out there. Again, it's just the 6 feet rule and things like that. But thank you. That's a great question. Anybody else on that? Okay, I only have a few more things, and let me see if I can find. And I apologize. Some of this is Zoom's not new. Well, it's not new now, but sharing it on YouTube was something new. I'm not sure if I just ruined it, but the other. This form. This form, well, that didn't work. This form is going to be an all-school form set by Norwalk City Schools, and it's a form from the Ohio Department of Ed that we are going to put part of our football packet to And it is the Ohio High School Athletic Association came out with one too. Actually, again, this is where our school is being very proactive, because the Ohio High School Athletic one came out with, you had to, when you signed, you were promising, I guess, that you would get, if your child ever became sick, you would run out and get them a COVID test, or you would have them tested. And this one, we're just asking you this, and then it was a waiver. You either sign the waiver or get him. If you sign the waiver, you promise to get tested. And if you sign it, or you're given the consent and release at this form is. So this form is a little less invasive, in my opinion, in the school's opinion. It'll be every student will get this, but this will be becoming the packet. The kids will come home with a player handbook this year, on Monday. So please look at that, and we get that. Another piece of paperwork to return to school. And the last thing that, you know, I mean, I want to be off of the COVID things, is in their player packet too. You will see our blueprint. This is something our focal group, our developmental group before COVID, we worked on. We've what we have on the left is what we call our core, our vision, or our three things. They haven't changed since year 2019. Be unbreakable, driven dedication, and I squared C squared. It's just not something I've ever shared with the parents, but I think after year 3, my process was always wanting to share what your young men come up with, and the ones that are capable to being there at this time frame. So we brainstormed there, and that's our what do you believe in. At the end is our outcome we want to achieve, and then we put how we do that. And the how we behave thing is really, our goal is to be the best version of ourselves on and off the side of the football. So the things we do, we try to make sure that works in everything in life. And so I just, you know, take time to talk with your son about, hey, what does this stuff mean? Because you'll be helping us. One of the things that really, many things, but one thing we want to achieve. And then we put how we do that. I'm not sure. And how we behave thing is really our goal. But I'm not sure why that echo is there, but ask them what they see, or what that means to them, because we lost in our off season the ability to talk that through and connect that stuff, and that the bond that they've got to get. So we're looking for other ways to approaching that and other ways of getting that. So I ask you to talk to your sons about that and see what they got to say. Now I know how they are at their age. They're not going to talk, but you know, I'm giving you that. Please ask them and see what you can get them to do, because I understand they don't want to tell you anything or talk about anything. So on that, oh, shoot, you know what? Okay, on that, there is one other additional thing I just took off of that page, and I have not broadcast this to anybody yet. You guys will be the first to see it. We were, you know, obviously in our world of masks now. Oh, man. I'm just gonna leave it up. I'm tired of that. Okay. We are able to get masks that are customized, and it can be anything too. It doesn't even have to say Norwalk football. They're double layered, 100% cotton. I have the pocket for the filter thing. I was just called by a person that wants to, they're $10. I will be posting out more when these orders would be due, but they're talking about a pretty fast turnover within days. So those options are out there. I mean, if you want to get one for yourself, your sons, or school, and things like that, that'd be outstanding. Again, I'm just trying to give options now that we all are in the world of the mask. Next is on the other side are gaiters, which I have yet to try because I call myself neck challenged. But I do feel we did order a mask quantity of these. Awful. Are they awful? Okay. I've not had one yet, but I find masks awful. I'm just getting adjusted. Keep telling the kids I'm just getting adjusted. So that's obviously a typo. There was the XK should be extra large. But I ordered masks of each size is there. They'll be first come, first serve. they're $15 for those masks, and then there's $10 if you want the other. They $15 for the gator, $10 for the mask. My email's there on the bottom, and I will put that out there for people. If you're interested in those, just contact me. Now, I will tell you, this logo is not going to be there. The logo is actually going to be on the side that I talked to the company about switching that. Again, not a fundraiser, just trying to give people options, especially with the mask mandates that we're having, and it's coming back as part of our wardrobes. So. All right. So on that, is there any other questions and I apologize, some of this is broken up with the new trial with the YouTube, trying to make it easier. Any other questions out there?
Yeah, are they allowed to leave on break?
Yes, they are allowed to leave on break, but it's really only the way our practice, we start on the field, even though they're at 7:30, we either be in the weight room or in field meetings, walkthroughs, and then we're on the field at 8:30. Then we leave the field at 10:05, and then we go back on the field at 11. So it's only really a 50-minute break. And we never do, so if our first session's in full pads, our second session is not in full pads. We never have, the days of, we're not allowed to do that, to be totally honest, in today's world.
Right.
So they can leave, but it's not a very long break. So it's one of those things that, doesn't hurt them to hang around too. But again, we've had kids run out and go home, get something to eat or go somewhere and just to cool off. Of course, every time we start in August, it's 100 degrees. So it's
right.
One of those things. So great question. Anyone else?
Yeah, thank you for that answer.
Yeah, no problem.
This is Landon Ward's dad, by the way, FYI.
Okay, all right.
So, my wife said, "Don't embarrass Landon."
No, it's all right. I can't say enough about all our kids. They have done such an amazing job adapting to where we've been through. So nothing negative going on with these guys.
Yeah, he's so excited, and we just hope that everything works out for the season.
Yeah, absolutely, believe me. So. But we have some great ones. We have some great kids, and we hope everybody has a great experience. Please, I want to remind you, if you ever need something from me, feel free to contact me, and I will do my best. I was going to put a slide of our coaching staff on there. I do apologize, but we'll get to know them. I'll send some more things. And for the people that are not new, we do have our only really new coach is the coach Bender. We did lose Coach Heron, but we just shuffled other people around. And then Coach Ziegler, Coach Ziegler, who's former head coach at Perkins, who's doing an outstanding job with this. So those are only new guys. We did lose Coach Heron, who has retired from coaching football, who has been by my side for 8 years. So we feel confident. We have a bunch of great guys that love kids, and that's what's important. Anybody else?
Yeah, Coach Fox, I have one more question. It's Aiden's mom.
Yes, ma'am.
Sorry.
No problem.
So how does Friday night versus Saturday work then for the tickets? I'm just curious. I just thought of it.
That's a great question, because on Saturday, do they? Yeah, I don't know how it's going to change on Saturday. I'm gonna have to ask. That's
okay.
I do know something. I will say that all tickets are $5 this year. I don't know what the prices were before, but all tickets were $5 out of those 3. I will have to ask about the next man and developmental squads. And by the way, for new people, we call our JVs per se are our next man, because we want them to be ready to be the next man on the field on Friday night. And our developmental squad is our freshmen or guys that need to develop a little bit further. The whole idea is I want them to understand the process, and I want them to, sometimes some kids ready to be on the next man squad, and maybe they're only a freshman. And sometimes we may or may not have a sophomore that will be more successful playing on a developmental squad, just not to win a game, but to get better and enjoy themselves a little bit. So it's just been a process, been very effective for us. And that's just something I want to explain. But I will look into the Saturday morning ticket things, because something I will say that we found out, like Ontario schools at this point are allowing 50% capacity to their stadium. So does that mean on that away game we have more tickets? It's one of those things that no one knows the answer right now.
All right, perfect. Thank you. I was just curious about that.
Sure thing. All right. Anything else?
So then with those tickets, Coach Fox, for like the away ones for the Saturday mornings, those all have to be pre-ordered then, just like how the kids have always bought them in advance at the high school for Friday night games, or no tickets at the gate now?
I'll have to ask about Saturday morning because that's a great question because that's going to cause, in my opinion, a logistic nightmare. So I'm not sure how they're going to do that. So I will chat with Josh on that ASAP. And again, that's how it is July 30th. It could be 500, next month. But right now, this is where we're at. Great question, though. Anybody else? All right. Well, thank you again. And please feel free. I know we had about a dozen people on YouTube and this group here. Please feel free to pass any information you can and information to people that have any questions, and we'll just keep getting better. And as I tell the guys, we get our heads down, eyes up, and keep going. Please keep helping them be positive. This is a tough time mentally for everyone, but kids mask it a lot more, but it's there just as much as it is on us. And like I said, I feel confident we'll have a football season from one moment to the next. I think it's going to be in August, then I think it's going to be in October, and then I'll think it's in April. I just don't know, but I'm confident we'll have something. So it's going to be a day-by-day process, and we'll see. So, all right.
Good job,
All right.
coaches.
All right, thank you. I appreciate everybody being on board, and we'll see everybody soon. Keep safe. Thank you.
I was thinking Kyla and I practice 7 to 8:30. Actually, 6 to 7:30.
Can never figure out.
But just, we just happened to, he happened to look at them